Are you swimming the 100 fly at every meet but just not getting much faster? Well, this video is for you. You already know how to swim 100 fly, but I'm going to go further and give advanced tips to perfect your form, and even give tips on how to swim the race itself. Let's get into it. First, I'm going to talk about your arms. The arm positions of butterfly, like the other strokes, follow the sculling positions. Above your head, at shoulders, a little bit lower at your waist, and then down below your waist. And your hands are in the same position the entire way through, pulling the water, and your elbows and your forearm are pulling the water as well. Remember, when you're in the first position, that's when your arms are entering the water as butterfly, and your arms and hands need to already be in this exact formation when you enter the water, so that you're already pulling water as you pull through your stroke. Another thing is, when you're bringing your arms around after you've done the first motion, make sure you're not T-Rexing like this. You should be able to get the full length of your arms up and then pull through, around, pull through, around, pull through. In the same area is your head. Your head should stay mostly parallel to the bottom of the pool, even when you breathe. A pocket of air appears when you come up, so you don't worry about water getting in your mouth. In terms of how often to breathe, it's really up to you. Some swimmers breathe every stroke, some every other, and some every two. Those are generally the best ways to do it for fly, but choose which ones of those you want to do, and then you can change it depending on the 50, or just keep it consistent the whole time. Again, it's whatever you like. Just don't breathe your first stroke out of your underwater off the wall. Now, onto your legs. Your kick and whole body movement should be driven by your chest, kind of going through your body in a worm-like motion and then snapping your legs. That's really the basis of dolphin kick, which is what you use for fly. There's 2 kicks for every arm stroke. The first one is really driven by that movement, and the second one is a little bit shorter, and it's just for extra propulsion when you want to breathe, or if you're not, it's for extra power. I know all that sounded like a lot like I was teaching you how to swim fly, but sometimes some review can go a long way into perfecting your form, especially if you learned it wrong the first time. Let's watch a video of some Olympic swimmers swimming fly to really drive home that idea. Now they're about a quarter of the way in. Look at those wide arms. Let's pause this for a second. Do you see those arms? They are not T-Rexing. Those are wide arms. They're going to pull all the way down. Gonna get maximum strength. Look at that body dolphin. Look at those kicks. Strong. That's exactly what you want. They're coming into the wall strong, not slowing down. And they're just gonna touch the wall. They're not gonna grab it. They're just gonna touch it. And coming off the wall with those long underwaters. They did breathe on their first stroke, but you should not do that unless you're really a professional. One of the most important things in your race is your start. Make sure you're pushing off the block with as much power as possible, using your fingertips, your toes, every muscle possible to get the best distance. Once you get in the water, do a ton of short dolphin kicks or a few longer ones. It really depends on your preference. It's one of those kind of things. And then make sure your underwaters themselves are long. Fly is a tiring stroke. And if your underwaters are long, you're going to have to actually swim less. I used to swim way too much and I make like 0 underwaters, and it definitely shows because by the end of the race, I was exhausted, whereas everyone else was fine because they've been doing long underwaters. And another thing is, when you're doing your open turns, don't grab onto the wall and pull yourself up. All you have to do for it to be legal is to touch it, bring your feet up, and turn around. You don't have to grab it, pull up, and then go off. All you have to do is touch it. And then when you're pushing off, start with the ball of your feet and work up your foot to your toes, and then push off. That'll get the most power possible. Lastly, when you're finishing, try to finish on a whole stroke and not a half or where you have to glide for a while. One whole stroke is the best.
Now here's a video of some Olympic swimmers doing their starts. Here we go. They're tense but ready to react fast. They're not going to be shaking on the block. They're ready. And remember, they were holding on with their fingers and toes. They're coming off the blocks with their long underwater. Those dolphin kicks, a lot of them are doing this with a really fast and short. But again, if you want to do more long, like that's fine. Like this guy's doing a little more long, this guy's doing a little bit shorter. It really comes down to what you want.
Now, before I talk about any drills or sets, remember that the best way to get better at fly is to just swim it a lot at practice. You could have the most perfect fly form ever, but if you don't practice it often, your stamina will be seriously lacking when meets come around. So first, some drills to practice fly skills. One that I like is butterfly arms with freestyle kick. Another one that I like is one-armed fly, so do one-armed fly for this arm for 25 and then move on to this arm for the other 25, or split it up at some interval like that. Another one that you can do is body dolphin on your back. This really helps with the body dolphin movement, and in fact, even though fly's on its front, this is better to do on your back because it really helps the motion. And then I'm going to give 100 fly drills, because if you look up online, you can find however many you want really easily. So just do that if you're looking for more. And now to do some sets that you can practice fly with. I like this set right here. You warm up with 400 freeze. You know, I don't want to warm up with fly. Then you move on to 850s, which is kind of like an IM. You go 50 fly, 50 or 25 fly, 25 back, just like your IM. You want to be well-rounded, even though this video is for the 100 fly. Next, you move on to 825s of a fly drill. Do whatever you like, do whatever you need to work on specifically. And then 250 sprint to bring the whole workout together. Use the skills that you practiced to get a good stroke and feel good about it. And then cool down with 4 25s of silent free. So that's just no splash. Try to be as quiet as possible. Just very relaxing. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Now you've got everything you need to excel and fly. You better drop some major time. Happy swimming.